voice of Neal Ruhl and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, 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 welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. This guy over here to the left of me, that's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. T-Boss, Terry Foster, back in the captain's chair as well. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. The squad is here. We are ready to roll. We are going to get into it. Huge NFL game for your Detroit Lions this weekend. Reaction to the Detroit Red Wings game. Yes, we are going to talk hockey. We're going to do that at 12:10 today. D-Max 5 for fighting. I feel as though some clarifications need to be made about yesterday with the whole Alex Nedeljkovic discussion. People took it to social media at me. And I just want to take these 2 minutes here. We're going to get into it deep at 12:10. I never said I wanted Alex Nedeljkovic removed from planet Earth or anything like that. Well, I never said that.
Then it must, you know what? Then it must have been your tone. Exactly.
I sound like Terry Foster?
So you just don't want him in your net.
Just not on the ice during a Detroit Red Wings NHL hockey game.
Which is fair, and he doesn't deserve to be right now. Now, I thought you were a little aggressive on this. I'd like to get Terry. Did you happen to catch what Neal was saying? The fact that we'll get into it more, but he didn't have very kind words to say, and to back him up, the numbers support him.
No, it wasn't not kind words to you. According to you guys, it was not kind tone.
They were stiff words.
They were simp words.
Stiff.
Stiff. Yeah, stiff. He's had enough, and I'm trying to. We'll get into it more.
We will.
As we get into hockey more, but the bottom line is I think that Neal, his timeline is just sped up. It's but to your defense, and we'll talk about it, this team has showed that it's an NHL team. So your expectations, maybe as some other people, other fans, have been raised since the beginning of the year.
I'm trying to get Neal to be patient. Nedeljkovic will be gone by January.
Is Nedeljkovic?
Will he?
He could be.
I've been told that's being too aggressive. I was told.
It's December. Just hang on a couple weeks.
Okay, and that's fair. And D-Mac and we hashed it out yesterday, and we're at the same foundation. D-Mac and we are. We got there in a weird way. We recognized it in a weird way.
People in the chat are wondering, are you wearing the Fort Wayne Comets jersey because you think that's where Ned should go and back to the IHL just to work on his craft?
I was in the back room talking to Big Mike Gentry, our Red Wings insider. Absolutely. Breaking news coming up. No, I'm kidding. No, the Fort Wayne Comets, they had me out to the game last weekend when I was in Fort Wayne, 2 weekends ago when I was in Fort Wayne. So about a shirt.
Great building.
It is,
great
actually.
building. I got to play there in my comeback in 2008 in the IHL and stuff like that. And that's a small flex of a great hockey organization that's been there for years and years and years.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I'm wearing. I have no news to break.
I feel like, you know what, I keep looking over the corner of my eye. It reminds me of like Hextall. I keep wanting to deke you.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was looking at your shirt. It's the Comets, right?
Yep.
Why is there a chainsaw on the...
There's not.
I think that's a comet.
It's like a comet, like in the sky, I guess.
That does not look like Haley's Comet.
Well, I don't think it's Haley's.
It's not the Fort Wayne Haley Comet.
Haley's only comes once every 75 years.
Well, if you'll notice,
there's got to be more comets than just Haley's.
And you'll notice, Terry, it's spelled with a K, like it's spelled incorrectly.
Oh, so it could be anything.
It could be anything. I guess that's the way.
It does look like a blade saw, though.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread here on Mark M. I was told. You guys and your tone, man.
Well, I think yesterday, it was more your tone. But like I said, we'll dive a little bit deeper into this because you're in the crux of the season. Now you got no excuses with injuries, obviously availability. Last night, losing 1-0 at home. Looks like the injury of the year will be the wrist injury. Dylan Larkin, not disclosed, but he will not be playing tonight. I saw Elmer Soderblom got recalled. So this is part of the NHL, and at the time of year where you see them just on the outside looking in, you don't want to. They've lost 6 of their last 8. They've gotten points in some of those games, and you see how important it is. So we'll get into it. They're not left for dead, or as you like to say, left for Ned. So that's Neal's new term. They're left for Ned.
I like that. I'm gonna use that one, T.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about it. We got 5 for Fight coming up later.
We do. Tammy Chin says, I didn't attack Neal on social media. I appreciate your point of view. And Tammy, thank you for that, by the way. I mean, I got broad shoulders. I can take it because it's this weird thing about social media. It's not a real place. Like, it bothers me 0.0. It's fun, if anything else. I bring attention to it.
By the way, small shout out, Tammy. Last night I got the book of all the kids, drew all the pictures of DMAC and stuff like this and their definition. So really appreciate that. I will keep that and cherish that right here. Some really good ones.
Yeah, those things were pretty good. The kids' drawings out there. I mean, hockey as well. Alex Ovechkin gets his 800th goal. He's 92 away from Wayne Gretzky, one away from Gordie Howe.
800 goals in everything I've ever played, including
pond hockey,
mini sticks in the living room, or how many times. That's doing something a lot of times, Terry. And I think in the NHL, when you got the likes of Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky in your sights, he's going to pass Gordie Howe maybe this week.
Yeah, I'm going to feel sad when he passes Gordie Howe. Just a little bit of sadness.
Really?
Yeah. Because Gordie...
Don't you like these records that, like, these long-term that you never think would be broken?
Then you can break any record you want.
But Terry, let me ask you this, but doesn't it sour once it's been broke? Like, once Gretzky broke Howe's goal record, then doesn't the blow of somebody else passing him sort of subside a little bit? Because it's just like Ricky Bobby said, Talladega Nights, second's the first loser.
If you ain't first, you're last. Right. Yeah, no, it is. He's incredible. We'll get into that too with the DMAC 5 for fighting. Mike G says Neal wants to take Gerber's food away from Ned's new baby. Just great. That's nasty tone, Loke. No, his contract's guaranteed.
Yeah.
This is professional sports.
People are soft.
This is professional sport. He gets paid, and I'm cool with it.
How can you be mean to him? He's such a nice guy. Yeah, well, he's not nice in the net. So
you know what's not nice? That 409 goals against average.
Yeah.
What? It's not nice.
880 save percentage.
I mean,
it's not nice either.
It's not nice. A lot of I was told out there on social media as well. Pure Montana says Neal is not patient. No. See, like, that's the thing.
How long can we be patient? 5 years?
And DMAC and I got in another argument this morning about it before we went on the air. The organization is on cruise control down there at what's the street down there? Two Pizza Drive or whatever, wherever Little Caesars
Pizza Drive, Woodward.
Crazy Stick Street,
Crazy Bread Street, wherever it is. No, that's this. The Nedeljkovic thing has nothing to do with that.
You will be interested because I did break down. I went into my rehab $1 million brain, and I did a little psychology on Neal there. When we got to the root of the issue,
it's true.
That we'll talk about, which is where Neal says, because you did say that. And the one thing about you, Neal, is that you are consistent, right? The goalposts may waver, but they're implanted. It's just the wind. Sometimes the conditions are windier than others, as we've seen it. But like you said earlier, you saw everything you needed to see earlier in the season.
Yes.
As far as the NHL team. I agree. But again, there's obviously the injuries and stuff like this, and I still believe that this team right now is more of what they are going to be on the outside looking in. Especially with the injuries, but we'll get to the root of the issue later.
And got a couple guests lined up for you today too. We'll talk to our buddy Matt Deutsch. He founded the Better Sports Network. Also did fantasy sports radio for SiriusXM for a long time, about 14 years. I have some critical fantasy football questions. No, not about my team, not about who I should start. This bye week thing that's going on with fantasy football. where it's the week, either playoffs have started this past week, T-Foss, either the fantasy football playoffs have started for some, or it was make or break time, and you got NFL teams on buys. What's up with that, man?
Well, if you have an expanded schedule like you do now, you're going to have late buys. It's the way it is, because you get 2 buys.
But you can't fly in the face of your moneymaker. You know what I'm saying? The only reason that they can put those trash games on Thursday night, not this Thursday. Not this Thursday. Lions fans. I should talk to Stick about this. And
Lions fans.
And Sheila about it.
Yeah.
Stick should get a post-game show. Seattle Niners. Lions playoff reaction post-game show. Get Anson and Stick out there.
That requires extra work from Stick, and he's not interested.
No, you can't say that about Stick.
He doesn't want to do another post-game show.
No.
Unless the Lions are playing.
But that's how big it is, though, Terry. But in the meantime, you can't fly in the face of what your moneymaker is. The reason you can didn't they have like Texans-Panthers on this year or last year or something like that? Remember? That was the birth of, I'm not participating in that one.
Yeah.
That's what spawned the movement, Terry. The very movement that you have, A, employed, B, enjoy, was founded last year, I believe, when they had Texans-Panthers on Thursday night.
That's true. But meanwhile, I'm missing pretty good games because I just don't watch on Thursday.
See?
Technically, they should not play Thursday night games in the National Football League.
I agree.
They keep saying how dangerous the sport is. Keep saying we're going to protect our players. Let's let them play Sunday and Thursday. It's the worst
but then they
thing
keep saying contract has been reached with Amazon and the NFL for $1.2 billion to be the exclusive provider of Thursday Night Football. Right. It's funny. They always say that, too.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Makes a difference.
So that's what it is. The Away Fan, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Neil's got that tone we've come to know and love. I appreciate that. At least there are some fans out there. But, that's what it is. Robert Closie says, Neil, you plan ahead for the buys at your draft, dude, or thanks for playing and bringing your money. No, Robert, because players get what they get. They get see, I've never been concerned about that because guys get the stats that they get. So it's never been something that I've really taken into account a lot. The seasons end up being what they're being. So yeah, we're going to pick Matt Deutsch's brain on that. Our guy Luke Fedlam's coming on as well around 12:38. We're going to talk to him. Year one of the free-for-all that was name, image, and likeness. Didn't work out very well for Texas A&M, Terry.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder what the winners and losers are, right? Because there's got to be some winners in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
I would think Quinn Ewers is a winner. He's got a Maserati and $1 million deal.
Players, but I'm saying maybe on company wise, like who's coming out of this going, okay, that was a good experience. All we're saying is that we talk about all the time is that how some kid, didn't play and stole money or whatever like this. Got it. I'd like to see. Are there conversations between companies that enjoyed using the NIL?
Right, and it's one of those things, too, where the marketplace will have to dictate. You know what I'm saying?
The real winner is Michigan linebacker Mike Morris.
Yeah.
Because he's doing commercials that we actually see. He's not doing something with Ed's Weed and Feed Shop or something doing with some, big-time lawyer.
I met Mike Morris at not Mike Morris, but Mike Morse.
Yeah, and I've met Mike Morris, not Mike Morris.
Yeah,
Are we talking about the lawyer?
I met the lawyer. Yeah, I haven't met the football player.
Because Mike wins.
Yeah.
Mike wins, he does.
I met the lawyer when we were courtside.
Okay, I got you, because Mike wins.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
No
Cintron wins, too. And you win if you drink Cintron. And Cintron's the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They've combined all three of the delicious flavors into their 6-pack sampler box with a Red Wings-themed package. And you can do it all. You can try the great tasting Cranberry, classic and sugar-free, all in one Red Wings themed package. Okay. Order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box, easy for me to say, today at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron and let's go Red Wings.
Get dope like me.
I love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Our own Ryan Armani has begun the journey, and as you see, D-Mac can't believe it. No, we're just kidding there. But he is down, D-Mac, over 15 pounds.
He is. He's definitely doing a Custom Health. Dr. Jason, they know how to do it. If you're willing to put the work in, they're for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Over 20,000 success story. Former Detroit Lion Eddie Murray, Detroit Piston bad boy Rick Mahorn. They've used Custom Health Centers. And again, you can call Dr. Jason and start your journey today. Call Custom Health, 844-789-8446. Again, 844-789-THIN. That's Custom Health Centers. Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, chat thread. Wheezy D313, Lions fans, my favorite drop besides the NFL draft jingle. Those are two solid ones.
Yes.
They are. I can't wait for the draft.
I love Jim Caldwell.
Lewis M. also says, can we still talk Reckless, or was that just for Monday? No, we're going to talk Reckless. How about this for Reckless?
Let's hear it.
Is Jared Goff the best quarterback on teams fighting for the NFC wildcard right now? Terry?
Can you enlighten us on, might be playing the best. Is he the best?
Is he better than Geno Smith?
That's the one.
I'm going to say no.
Are the numbers better this year?
He's playing better than Geno Smith
I
now.
think that they're very comparable. I think that Geno Smith's more mobile, which might give him the nod. I think that you started out the season like this. They both got off to start. Goff sort of elevated as Smith propelled, but then Smith digressed a little, and he's sort of leveled off, and Goff definitely is elevated. So I think
that's a good take.
I think right now, Jared Goff is, to answer your question, that yes, he is. That could change. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a runaway Patrick Mahomes is the best or these guys are the best conversation, but right now he's trending the best, and we've talked about it. I'm sitting here, and I mentioned before the show, is I picked him up like 3 weeks ago. My fantasy team getting ready, trying to make the playoffs. I had to do what the Lions did and run off like 3 in a row. I was able to do it, and Goff's a big reason for it. Last week he outperformed, stats-wise, Joe Burrow. So I think trending, if you're saying that right now, who would you want? I'm taking Goff and the Lions, and it's the system. I think that, what we were talking about earlier this season, why the success of Seattle, I think we're having it now with the young guys playing. We were mentioning all the draft picks that they'd gotten and that were playing early in the season. we're experiencing the same thing, and I wouldn't change our position for anybody's.
Is he better than Daniel Jones?
Yes. That one you can definitely
He might even
see.
have bigger hands than Daniel Jones.
Is he better than Tyler Heineke?
Yes.
Magic Heineke, you talking about?
Magic Heineke. Is he better than him?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a debate to be had. Is that crazy? Is that reckless enough for you, Louis M?
Taylor Heineke's a winner. I mean, so the dude does. He goes out there and get dubs. It's you look at all the quarterbacks, and the only one that you can really make the argument with that is better than Goff out of these teams fight is Geno Smith. You know, Geno Smith, better completion percentage, more yards, more touchdowns. He does have one more interception, but they're both having fantastic years. But yeah, he's better than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is like the more stupid version of Eli Manning. And then you look at Taylor Heineke, like he doesn't have the skill set. He doesn't have the arms, but he's just a winner. He's like a gamer, you know. But I'd take Jared Goff over Daniel Jones and Taylor Heineke.
I'll give Heineke
for sure.
this. It's the same thing as I think that where Goff in the system that they're in, right? He plays that system well. And then they're running the ball, and then they're getting healthy. Washington's played better and better, slowly but surely, you know, Ron Rivera. So I think if you had, like, Washington likes who they have in their spot, would they like somebody better? Yes, but this kid knows their offense and how to run their team.
Here's the better question, young man. 4 out of the first 11 picks in the draft are going to be quarterbacks. You're probably going to get number 3 and number 4. Do you draft a quarterback?
I'm not.
No.
Not. Well, that depends where my Rams pick is at.
I see hesitation.
That depends on where my Rams pick is at.
Okay.
It does for real, because definitely not if you're talking about the big 2 defensive players. And we know who the big 2 defensive players are with Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. Definitely those guys are what I want. I could have any pick of the quarterbacks, and I would still take one of those 2 guys. But that's just me. I'm the only guy in this town, apparently, that views Jared Goff as a plus money return based on what you pay. I look at it differently than most people, though, than most people do, Terry. Like, that's the way I operate.
I hear you.
I like their spot with Jared Goff right now.
The other question is that quarterback for you that franchise guy in this draft? You ask yourself that, too. To me, he's not. So that even goes more to the draft capital, salary cap of what Jared Goff. That's the last thing. I'm more looking at how am I going to either maneuver around with my pick to be able to get, and obviously looking defensively first.
The tricky part is even if you believe in Jared Goff and you say, I'm not going to draft a quarterback because he's my guy and I don't need to bring the future up right now. Who's to say that you're going to get that future next year or the year after? Maybe this is the only year that you can try to get that quarterback.
I think they will. Excuse me. I think they will. I agree with you, Terry. I don't know if they'll be that high in the draft for the foreseeable future. This is probably the best shot. For me, the only one that's worth taking a shot on is Bryce Young. So if Bryce Young falls to you and Jalen Carter isn't there, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah.
If they love that guy, right?
Yeah.
If that's your guy, and you can see that, and that's why it would make sense to protect yourself moving forward.
I'm hoping they get Caleb Williams, but he's out of the picture.
Yeah, he's going to be
100%.
They're going to be better next year and better and better and better. So the guy that I really want,
and if he's as good as you say he is, he's unobtainable, because whoever has a number 1 pick obviously needs a quarterback, and they're not.
Bam.
You can't trade for him. He's not obtainable.
bam.
That's it.
So do you say, okay, I still love Jared Goff, it's still my guy, but I'm still picking the quarterback this year?
Yeah, I'm not in the face of what's available defensively. I'm not. I'm continuing the way we're doing this, where I'm getting talent everywhere. I'm getting the James Houstons later. I'm getting.
Is there a question? Right. So sorry to interrupt, but is there a question in there that there's another Goff out there? Like, you know, when your Goff comes up, right? So in 2 years that you're going to plug another guy in there, that the next quarterback in your team is already in the league. He's not the guy you got to draft. Like, is that a conversation you got to have too?
I mean,
if you go your way, right?
Right.
So you're not going to get you'd be able to draft one of these guys at the top because you, as Spenny said, next year you're going to be better. You're going to be further down. You're not going to be able to trade. What I'm saying is Brad Holmes, as he's looking around the league to somebody that he can plug in.
I'm sure he's always monitoring that. I'm sure he's got his Stevie Y board up there with the contracts of everybody and where they
Goff
are.
As even though, like right now, as they build this team around him, that quarterback becomes
replaceable
to the
plug
price
and play.
point. So that's something you have to ask too. Is there somebody else like a backup or somebody at less dollars like a Goff to come in to replace a Goff? That's also, they might go that direction. That, to your point, they can solidify making sure they draft the best defensive guy.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Pete Smith. Daniel Jones is the restaurant that only serves Pepsi when you want a Coke.
Yes.
That is a great way to put it.
Daniel Jones, like I'm not saying that he plays like Eli, because he's obviously a lot more mobile than Eli ever was, but Eli Manning and Daniel Jones have that stupid face where you just look at it and it's just like, yeah, yes, exactly, D-Mac. It's literally what it is. Like, I don't know. It just gets...
There's no need to get personal.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no need.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
So what?
Now,
Did you
we
see
get
that?
personal here.
Man.
I like stupid face.
Yeah, there's no need to get personal.
Why not?
Don't like the way I talk, say something.
Yeah.
What about this, Spenmo? Dirty Dr. D. Before the Giants game, Spenny was sold on getting Danny Dimes over Jared Goff.
No.
What?
That is not true.
Can you comment?
We've talked about it on this network, and no, it's not true. I said maybe you take him, but I'm not paying him the same amount of money you pay.
Okay,
Goff.
now my memory's getting jogged. Yeah, you're like, give me Daniel Jones at $12 million a year.
Daniel Jones at
Yeah, you
$5
only want to
million
pay
a year.
Goff $10 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'd take Daniel Jones at $5 million a year, but not at $40 million a year or $30 million a year. I'd take anybody on a rookie contract.
No, and I get it.
Those rookie quarterback contracts with a 5th-year option.
No, they are. Michael Patterson says C.J. Stroud is way better than Goff. We're prepared to dismiss that, right? Like,
C.J. Stroud is better than Goff.
Yeah.
I think they do a lot of...
the quote is way better than Goff.
Yeah, I don't know about way better.
No. I will disagree with that. C.J. Stroud's got some problems.
I think
He's
they
got
have
some
very
issues.
similar issues. Like, C.J. Stroud, you'd like him to be a little bit more mobile, but he's not. He's kind of a one-read guy. Gets nervous when he has pressure on him. I think they have similar issues, but Goff is the NFL version of it. So,
yeah, and it is. It's one of those things with D-Mac. Go ahead.
I just hate to interrupt you. How many games do you expect the Lions to win next year? As
9.
is.
As is right now.
With improvements in the draft.
10.
Yeah.
10?
I think the playoffs.
Okay.
Playoff is an
If
expectation.
C.J. Stroud is the quarterback next year, do they still win 10 games?
No.
Spinny?
If C.J. Stroud is the quarterback next year, do they
Yes.
still win 10 games?
It was a long
Probably.
hesitation.
No, do you not look, right? Do you not look around and see like the young quarterback development? I think Trevor Lawrence is a great, starting to get it, but it's taking him time. It's going to take these guys time, and that's from playing right out of the rip.
Yeah.
So you're going to
Yeah,
say
but
development. So you'd have to say, I'd have to say no.
Buddy boy, yeah, I agree
No.
with you.
I'd
But
have
he
to say
had-
watching Trevor Lawrence, who was
Trevor
supposed to be the
Lawrence
next
had a clown
get all
for a
these
head
reps.
coach.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of.
And a bad situation. I think C.J. Stroud going into the Lions situation as it is now, yeah, he could be right around there, 8, 9, 10 wins because of his accuracy and the amount of what he'd be asked to do is very similar to just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. But I don't want C.J. Stroud.
And look, this is on the table too. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, what Brad Holmes has done with late rounds at wide receiver, linebacker, etc. Let's trust him to find a mid-round quarterback to develop. Now, here's the deal with that, though, Chuck. They don't have a 4th-round pick this year. I believe that's the story. They don't have a 4th-round pick this year. I believe they have 2 5th-round picks, though. And I'm running my kicker play.
Yeah, you're running 3rd-round kickers.
Yeah.
Moody, right?
Yeah, I'm taking El Kicker in the 5th round. I'm either I'm taking Moody, I'm taking NC State's kicker, whoever presents themselves. What's that?
In the 5th round?
Yes. I'm going above slot.
Wow.
I want a kicker in here where I have the kicker and we're done for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We're done.
And you know what? Like, same old Lions, for the most part.
That's how it's been.
They nailed the kicker position.
Yeah.
Over the kickers and punters over the years have been decent.
Yeah, they have been decent. And you know what is more than decent? Way more than decent? That is Cousins Maine lobster,
God,
because this stuff is legit. Woodward Sports loves lobster, and the best way to get your fix is Cousins Maine lobster. With 2 lobster trucks rolling around Detroit, you can be sure to find the best lobster rolls, lobster tots, lobster tacos, and Terry and my favorites, the lobster grilled cheese. To power you through the day, go to cousinsmainelobster.com to find the schedule, or scan that QR code right now and you can see where they're at in real time. So make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster today.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
What's up, Guardian Alarm? They keep you safe and give you peace of mind, whether for business or personal, all throughout this great country. And if you want to be part of the Woodward Sports Network, Guardian Alarm, Big D Energy family, you can be. But I need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Guardian Alarm has been protecting Flannel Sam's flannel for how many straight days?
176.
176 straight days of flannel protection. I don't know what you need protected, but Guardian Alarm, yes, that yellow emblem, they will protect whatever you need. Why? Because they're your local security experts. Make sure you tell them, Big D Energy, we sent you.
Stay out of net, Alex and Johnson.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster here, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Sebastian Chose says, Money Badger been solid. He's missed 2 big kicks. The Buffalo game on Thanksgiving, that was a big miss.
He was talking Minnesota, but then he made one,
missed one against Minnesota. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
he made the one the other night, though. Like, they've changed. Like, I've seen them make mistakes and then recover from it. Making that field goal to make it 11 late was huge.
I just feel like drafting a kicker that high will be like, what was that guy's name out of Florida State that got drafted in like the 2nd round?
Sebastian Janikowski?
No, out of Florida State.
Roberto
Aguayo got drafted in the 2nd round out of Florida State.
I'm not saying taking him in the 2nd round.
He was out of the league.
Yeah.
Out of the league in 2 years.
So don't draft him in the 2nd. That's why Neal said 5th.
Yeah. But I still think that's too high.
Someone's going to take him, man.
I don't think anybody's going to take
Moody. The dude
Moody
never
in the
misses.
5th. I think you can get Moody in the 7th.
Someone's going to take him.
Why would you even if that's your guy, no matter who it is. I mean, I'm a firm believer, go up and make sure you get him. For the fact that it is a kicker, the fact that it's the position that you can kick forever. I mean, how did you see? I thought it was easy punting for the for the Vikings the other day. Walsh or whatever like this, right?
Wait a minute.
We've seen what Brad Holmes has done with 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks, and I don't want to waste that on a kicker.
But it's not a waste if you got 10 years.
If you got a 10-year kicker, it's not a waste.
Solid that he's going to stick there. And in the Lions, the history,
yeah, fellas,
the Jason
you can't
Hansen,
play musical chairs with kickers and hope and pray you find somebody.
And then right where we were at the beginning of the year, right? Without a kicker at the beginning of the year, you know, who's going to kick this one? Who's in this? Remember that at the beginning of the year? That cost us. That cost us a game.
And
so if you're not... What was the one thing for years and years and years we laugh at? Kickers and punter, right? Was money. Jason Hansen, right? Like, I'm 100% on board with you.
Spenny.
Hansen should be in. He should have his
only that position.
He should. Spenny. Yes. Also, too, is Matt Prater a good kicker in the league?
Yes,
he was.
He's great.
He left here because he got, what, $3.5 million from Arizona?
Yeah.
Is Jake Moody good? Is he good?
He's a good college kicker, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good college kicker.
Okay. So if he's good in the league, if he just does what he did in college in the league, you'll have a kicker for 5 years at about $720,000.
Yeah.
Would you pay $720,000 for people to make every big field goal?
Yeah.
You
I'd
see
also
what I'm
pay
saying?
$720,000 for James Houston.
Well, but that's part of the package, man. It fits. It
right,
fits
we're
the
not
narrative.
even talking about like the Justin Tuckers or the guy, you know, who is he the end all be all and what he makes, but that's something that you're looking to solidify that.
Yeah, Tucker's different because he's the best at what he does. He's the best in the game in his position.
And he was an undrafted free agent.
Which is fair. But I'll pay for quality. You know what I'm saying? Like you've heard me say that before.
Absolutely.
Like I'll pay for quality. You're gonna give me the best at something, I will pay for it. Now hold on, I gotta
Adam
get this.
Vinatieri also undrafted free agent. I'm just saying.
100%. And you know, Jason Hansen was drafted.
Yes.
3rd round, I believe, and should be in the Hall of Fame. So. You know,
if he wasn't a kicker,
that knife cuts both ways.
2nd round.
Second round. My apologies. I know it was high.
That is awful.
And he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but he played 20 years. So if you're going to use that, there's the greatest 2nd round pick the Lions ever made.
The last good one they had.
That's a good point.
We do need to pivot to this, and this isn't on a show sheet or anything like that, but this was just brought to my attention. And you know, I like to hold people accountable for what they say. I will stand accountable for the things I say. However, this flew in under the radar. This comes from Tony in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread that says Maz said the Lions need to draft a certain quarterback from Kentucky yesterday. I wanted to pull my hair out. That is not true.
Levis?
That is not true, right?
I mean, Maz is a big Baker guy, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Right?
That's like giving Sam, let him hire your next college coach, Mr. Mr. Scott Frostlover over there.
I mean, I've been firm though in my stance against Will Levis. I think I led the anti-Will Levis charge on the show.
Say that name, bro.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He should not be named. Lil Levis. He's terrible.
That's not true.
It is Maz. So
yeah, you know why he said that?
Because
Maz. The little New York boys have been saying, bring Will Levis to the Lions. And so Maz is...
If you guys don't understand, Maz is trying to self-destruct.
Wait a minute
organization.
Here. Louis M., WoodwardSports.com chat thread. He did say it, Neil. I can confirm. Real cream of wheat. Unfortunately, that is true. Pistons fan 11. Definitely true. No,
you know it's true.
He's back there right now.
I know that's your little friend.
Hey, you know what, Spenny? You said it.
But he said
Maz loved Baker Mayfield.
He does.
What were you saying, Terry?
I know you want to get on their show and you love Maz.
Well, we're all working to get on that show.
The final word is the last stop.
Open your eyes. He said it. Maz loved Baker Mayfield. He gone. Maz doesn't identify good quarterbacks. So, therefore, he said it.
I mean, but at least Baker Mayfield was great in college and had flashes in Cleveland. Lil Levis. He's terrible.
You like Baker more than Lil Levis? You hate Baker.
No, I hate Baker with like the fire of 1,000 suns, but at least he's proven something. Lil Levis had a terrible game against Vanderbilt. 11 of 23, 109 yards and a pick against Vanderbilt. Gave Vanderbilt their first SEC win since 2019.
Yeah,
his Kentucky-led team scored 6 points against Tennessee.
They scored 6 points every week.
They scored 6 points every week, but Spencer Rattlers led South Carolina, scored 63 against that same Tennessee team. Lil Levis is a disgrace. He's terrible. He shouldn't even be a first-round pick, but people are talking about him like he's top 10 and freaking Maz wants him.
We got
Get out of
point.
here.
That's it, Dan.
Maz Millen.
It's Maz Millen. That's all you got.
We got a great point in the chat right now.
Trying to blow up your organization.
Peaceful Tim in the Woodward Sports chat. Don't take anything Maz says serious during Jets week.
That is true.
That's a good point.
Andrew Klingerman also says if Maz was our GM, we'd be screwed.
Oh, boy.
Maz Millen.
Hey, and Lil Levis also puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yeah.
You can't trust that man.
That's psychopath
He's
behavior.
a disaster.
He does. It's
Well,
true.
technically, has anybody tried it?
No, but I'm not going to.
You wouldn't even try that?
No.
It doesn't
Just
look-
because
it
Lil
doesn't
Levis.
look
Okay,
right.
here's the deal with that ish. Somebody explain the science behind it.
Yeah.
Like, give me the flavor comp.
I want to know, like, what,
It makes sure the under hits.
how did you try that for the first time?
Right.
Like, where are you just like, oh, I'm out of milk. I don't have any creamer left.
What's
I'll eat
supposed to
some
be
mayo.
a substitute for creamer?
How does it even, like, explain the science to me, though? It comes in a clump. You drop it in there. What does it break
He
down?
used the squeeze bottle mayo.
Listen, if you don't start drinking coffee that's straight black when you're 6 years old in Canada, then you're not a man. So we don't even know what mayonnaise is.
That's fair.
Drink your coffee black.
Again, I'm looking for
Fair.
it. You know what? And I'm not doing the
I
next
want a
commercial.
quarterback that drinks his coffee black, Terry. That's all I got to say.
I'm not doing the next
Can't trust
commercial
the
till
guy
I
who
get an
puts anything in his
explanation.
coffee.
All right. Do you want me to find the video?
I don't want to see that.
Okay.
I
was
want to
gonna say,
know
it's on
the
here
science
somewhere.
behind it. I want to know the explanation. Give me the why. Give me the how.
All right, give me
What
one
does it
second.
Can we
taste
get
like?
easy to at least try it? Spence?
How do the physics
Or,
work on
hey,
it?
what about sus?
He'll try it.
Big
That is
sus.
sus.
Get Big Sus to try it. Somebody needs to try this to see what it is.
It says you got to whisk it. Whisking mayo and coffee
Oh, stop.
works
No
better
one's doing
than
that.
using a spoon. Why would you put mayonnaise in the coffee?
Well, yes, crazy clown. We all put can of butter in our coffee. That doesn't count. That's not a creamer.
Stop, guys. Pistons fan 11. I'm trying to eat lunch now. Please stop. Joey, 2 times. My coffee ain't coffee without Miracle Whip. Okay, now we're clowning. You got to get it out of your
11
system.
years ago, a debate raged on Reddit, and then again 5 years ago. The general consensus from both is that no, you shouldn't put mayo in your coffee. Still, those pro-mayo side would be quick to note that butter and coffee is a very much a thing, especially among the keto crowd. And mayonnaise and butter aren't that dissimilar in that they would bring a cup, which is overall creaminess.
How does it break down?
Honey bun, you do know the world is falling apart, right? There are a growing number of people putting Miracle Whip in their coffee.
Do you know what mayo and coffee make? Candy corn.
Yeah.
I agree. Agree.
that's-
That's all you got to say.
Let me tell you about a place where you won't see any mayo in in coffee. Big Boy. Probably.
Right.
Okay, probably. They've got comfort food, though, at Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit, it's always better with the comfort food from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf. Spencer Raxter signs off on that.
Facts.
Full send. Cajun chicken Alfredo. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The Lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster as well. Stop by your local Big Boy today, but don't put any mayonnaise in your coffee.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes present Hope for the Holidays. Jeff Okuda gives his financial support, time, and love for the city of Detroit with Chad Johnson and his amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. Together, Jeff and Chad have been game planning all year long to make this Christmas one to remember for underprivileged children and their families. Special thanks to Lions players Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and more, along with Lions alumni Lomas Brown and Joyak Bell, and the awesome people at Lighthouse Coolidge Community Building in Oak Park. Together, we'll make sure every child has new shoes, warm coats, hats, and socks, plus free haircuts to help everyone feel their best. And don't forget Woodward Sports' Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, and Darren McCarty will be there too. Hope for the holidays from Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and the personal Spencer Raxter collection. Of course, the Swedish Beauty Lotions.
Oh, yeah.
ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations and more on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers, Dan.
Yay, back at it. Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Joey 2 times. What about a Hellman Starbucks collab? What about no? How about that?
Hellman did post in that article I was reading, they said, mayo in your coffee. That's it. That's the tweet. I mean, good for them. Jumping on the wave.
And then you got Hellman's up there talking like they can hold a candle to Miracle Whip. Like,
oh, no, don't start that. Mayo's way better than Miracle Whip.
Anyway,
I thought they're the same.
Shortcake.
Yeah. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there, by the way. Get your thoughts out there. Chuck Brewer. I want Maz to come defend himself on the show, Neal. That will be an iconic segment. No, that will be a thrashing. Because it's a one-sentence argument.
Yeah.
Based on what? Based on what have you seen? Point the game out to me. Show me the game, because I know every game that I watched of them. What about when they played Florida and Anthony Richardson, and we sat here and waxed poetic about how that's a must-watch game, and those two went out there and stunk the stadium up, both of them.
And yet, these are two of the guys that don't, Lil Levis and Anthony Richardson, that, trust me, coming around combine season and doing that, is that you're going to hear all the hype. This hype that Maz has is not going to go down. Is Lil Levis the Malik Willis of this year's draft?
Yeah, probably. That's what people are. They're drafting him to try to make him the next Josh Allen, but I don't see it.
I think honestly, Neal, like, I know we're off sidetrack, but Richardson's got more athletic ability. I think that if somebody was gonna make him into a quarterback, that you're going to spend a late... Like, that's a guy later round.
I saw mock drafts of him going top 10.
What's that?
I saw mock drafts of Anthony Richardson going top 10.
Boy,
so that's so important of who he gets to,
yeah.
Right? Because it's a development thing, but...
No, that game that Neal mentioned.
I don't want either one of them, by the way.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
No, that game that Neal mentioned, that setback quarterback played 20 years. That game alone made me realize that I don't want any of those players anywhere near my team. And no NFL GM honestly should, unless you want to take a flyer on them in like the 5th or 6th round.
You know what? I went back in for more. Of that quarterback from Kentucky. And then he was trash again.
Always.
And then the Tennessee game, I said, all right, bad pass defense. Let me see. Show us. Nope.
He had the worst game against Tennessee of any quarterback that played Tennessee, and that's Will Levis. That's the guy that everyone wants to draft in the top 10. It's madness. I've never seen a quarterback produce so little but be hyped so high just because of his measurables. You got to produce on the field. When have you ever seen a quarterback be this bad in college? I mean, maybe Josh Allen, but I don't know. Josh Allen played at Wyoming. That's a different circumstance. He didn't have the talent around him that Will Levis did. Will Levis had a great running back, Chris Rodriguez, who actually balled out in that Vanderbilt game.
One of the best defenses, too.
Great defense.
One of the best defenses in college football.
Terrible.
I agree. Patty Grimes, the Anthony Richardson Project. Yeah,
Right.
It does sound like a documentary on Netflix,
honestly.
doesn't it? Hey, real quick, T-Foss, critical question for you. Can Dan Campbell be the coach of the year? If the Lions get in the playoffs, can he be the coach of the year?
He's got the second best odds right now.
Well,
Is he
I tell
behind
you
Pete
what,
Carroll?
No, behind Nick Sirianni.
Should be behind
You know
Pete
what
Carroll.
this weekend is? We're looking at is the Lions versus the Jets, right? This, in my mind, is the game to put one coach, either Saleh or Dan Campbell, in the number 2 spot for coach of the year.
And isn't it interesting too? Because and to Terry's point, right? Weren't these the two guys, like the couple of guys that were up for the job? So this is Dan
Right.
Campbell, coach of the right? Because a lot of guys, Robert Saleh from Dearborn. I know I play golf with his cousin Joey. You know, like it's like it's
Slight flex.
They wanted that hometown guy. So there is a little bit of hey, what did we have or what could have we had? But I think Terry absolutely right there. And I got to think the way that it is, if they run off 10 wins, 9 out of 10, I know what Philly's done has been impressive, but that might just be enough. Got to win them all.
I still think the coach of Philly will win it if they continue on this.
And I still think it should be Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll.
No, but they're not gonna make playoffs.
Not
Well,
going to win it.
They got better. They got a better math. So essentially, because
I don't
essentially
care
it's the
about
Giants,
math. You don't
the
know
Commanders,
that, right?
Seattle,
Math is
and the
irrelevant.
Lions.
I want the games played.
Three of the 4 are getting in.
I get it. Trending. I like the eyeball test. Like I said, I don't believe he's going to win it because they're not going to make the playoffs. If
Even
he makes the
if
playoffs, then
they
he
make
should be
the
in more
playoffs,
consideration.
he will have a really good shot. But I still think Philly, Sereni and Philly will win it. Serenello, whoever his name
I
is.
agree.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the NFL, the NFC East is it's like the SEC of the NFL, even though they don't have SEC quality teams. But the perception is, if it's in the NFC East, if they get more media coverage, it's better.
It's like a good.
Well,
it's like the Big Ten West. If the Big Ten West were good,
It's the
That was
Dallas
it,
effect,
yes.
isn't it?
no, that's part of it.
Isn't it the Cowboy
New
effect
York
too,
City,
in
Dallas,
New York and stuff
Philly.
like that? And to the credit, Philly being as dominant as they are and doing it on a for second-year coach or whatever like that, young guy that's in there, they should get it. Winning should breed that. But yeah, I mean, doesn't surprise. Dan Campbell, wasn't it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago? It was like 200-1. Now he's like, what were the odds if he's second?
No,
now?
it was way higher than that. 200.
Jeez.
Now I think it's 11. Is it 11?
Did anybody out there bet him when they were 1-6?
No, nobody did that. It's not possible. WoodwardSports.com chat there. WeezyD313. Dan Campbell's story is better than Pete Carroll. See, I know they got the shine because of the Hard Knocks and stuff. I'm amazed what Pete Carroll at his age too. Like that's part of it too, right? He's not supposed to relate to players now because he's an old guy. He's one of the best ever at it.
He's a young old guy.
He is a young old guy.
He looks damn good for 70.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it is incredible to me. Even if they come up just short, it is incredible to me what he pulled off out there. It's incredible what the Seahawks did this year.
So they know the relate to the young people.
Yeah, it is true. We got our girl Sandy here in the studio. She said some of us relate to the to the young people. But no, it is that. It's for me. It is incredible what he's pulled off. I just want to see him get some flowers because he deserves it, dude.
No, well, he does, and I think that you're getting those flowers. I think that to him being as transparent as he is that the more that they win, the more his personality comes to the forefront, even on a national level, because he is, an interesting guy, right? So you're going to see that. But that's what winning, Neil, is the bottom line. So to me, I'll always say it that this was the game that I was worried about going into New York, facing the Jets, the Campbell, Saleh. Be interesting. I think we talked about it yesterday, Spenny. The one thing that I'm praying for is that Quinnen Williams is out.
Yeah.
I don't really care about who's quarterback.
Yes.
A little bit irrelevant.
I got some stats on the Jets too that are mind blowing.
Really?
We'll talk about their defense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we're obviously Sauce Gardner going up against him, seeing what the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. So, I mean, it's just nice to be in the mix and be excited about this game. And to your point, I mean, football really does start tomorrow because you can sweat that San Francisco
be locked
game.
in.
I mean, you could be locked in. Even for me, that's not going to get fully delved into this until we win on Sunday. Right, I'll be tuned in.
You're locked in, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Though, are you locked? Are you locked? TF in tomorrow for Thursday Night Football.
TF in. You're going to be locked.
Yeah. Well, T-Foss, you're going to reload the Amazon Prime app onto your Roku, I'm sure, right?
I will, and I'm going to be in the lounge chair.
So you're doing it all the way live.
Yeah.
Absolutely. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Peaceful Tim, nostalgic Neal again, shaking my. What? You can't deny what somebody around here deny what Pete Carroll's done this year.
I'm not going to deny what Pete Carroll has done.
Fine job.
Yeah.
He's a fine football coach.
Yes, he is.
Lost 2 running backs for an extended period of time.
And one of them probably going to be the rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Until he got injured.
Incredible.
Starting, 2 rookie cornerbacks?
Geno Smith,
yeah.
Who everybody left for dead.
Mm-hmm.
Who was more left for dead? We'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow on the show, who was more left for dead? The Lions at 1-6 or Geno Smith before the year? 2-4-8.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. He hadn't been a starter since 2014.
Yeah.
But what about Dan Campbell though? If they say win 9 or 10 games, wouldn't it have been incredible what he did as well? If they run the table, I would absolutely consider, if I had a voting for Dan Campbell for Coach of the Year. They were a 3-win football team last year. They have the potential to triple their win total.
Absolutely.
Can you win Coach of the Year with as bad of coaching with blunders that you've made early in the season? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's where the consistency of the Philly
is
Nick.
The most improvement that a team makes one year over another. It doesn't mean you're the best coach that year. But yeah, a lot of his foibles were this year. So what he's going to be doing is overcoming 4-22 to make the playoffs or to have a winning record. That would be Coach of the Year material. But he'd be number 2.
Alex Haggerty says, what were the Jets' defensive stats if you remove Sauce Gardner? And when we get into the breakdown of the matchup, I'll give you some of these stats they're absolutely incredible. When we come back, we're going to talk to our guy, Matt Deutsch from the Better Sports Network. Got a couple fantasy questions for him. Spent a long time at WFAN in New York. We'll get into the Jets-Lions with him a little bit as well. All that and more. It's Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Better than a turkey and Swiss sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But we can't talk about a turkey and Swiss sandwich right now because we got to talk about Swiss Insurance. With the holiday season here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you to insure those gifts of jewelry or collectibles. In the last 2 weeks, Swiss has saved its clients an average of 26% on their insurance premiums while increasing coverage. That's a lot of money to free up for the giving season. Happy holidays from Swiss Insurance, and go blue.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
All I want for Christmas is a Lions win, the Pistons in the playoffs, and the Red Wings to dominate. I don't ask for much.
I'm asking for a punt! A single punt!
And I've been really good this year.
Oh, you're so naughty. You're so naughty.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Bedrock Detroit and the Monroe Street Midway Minute. Don't forget, it's on and popping again in downtown Detroit. The winter bumper cars, the Arctic Slide, the Puck Putt, the Midway Arcade, and of course Terry's favorite, Drinks at the Lodge. Terry, I know
Drinks at the Lodge.
Oh yes. when I want to partake.
When you want to partake, which is yes, that is the answer to that as well. And don't forget about the star of the show. You know the guy. S. Claus will be out there as well on Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 8, on Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 4. That goes all the way up until December 22nd. But I say all the way like that's not next week, right?
That's coming up, baby.
That's crazy, man. That is, but that just goes to show you the time crunch right now. Get out there, go see Santa. It's free. It's only down there at the Monroe Street Midway. So get down to downtown Detroit.
Neal, Woodward just posted the current Coach of the Year odds. Nick Sirianni at number 1 with minus 380. Dan Campbell and Robert Saleh at number 2 with plus 1,200. Pete Carroll's at 9th, plus 4,000. Behind Doug Peterson, Brian Dable, Mike McCarthy, Mike McDaniel, and Kevin O'Connell.
That's blasphemous.
That
dude.
is pretty crazy.
That is, but hey, whatever. I'm nostalgic. That's what I was told. We want to welcome in right now, as promised, our good buddy. He is back here on Big D Energy. Of course, he is Matt Deutsch. He's a founder of the Better Sports Network, longtime New York area radio veteran as well, and one of the founding fathers of fantasy sports talk on Sirius XM. So, Matt, I do want to get to you with this because we're going right into it here today. And Darren McCarty can relate because he had his fantasy season affected by this. Matt,
pulled through.
You made it through, but a lot of us did not, though. D-Mac. Here's the question for you, Matt. This new bye structure that they do with the bye weeks and everything, this is crazy talk, man. You got the playoffs starting in some cases, leading into the playoffs in some cases, and you got some of your best players on a bye. They're going to address this, right, or no?
What's up, guys? Love to be back with you. I don't think so, Neil. I don't think the NFL cares about fantasy football or anything else. I mean, it's unbelievable for us that play fantasy to have 6 teams out in Week 14. It's unheard of. We've never had this before. What an advantage, just from a competition point of view on the real game, for the NFL teams like your Lions to have a bye in Week 6 and have to go straight through, where now these other teams get a break here to get healthy right before the postseason. I'm not a fan of it. We call it Buy-Mageddon on Better Sports Network, and we take phone calls and chat from panicking fantasy owners weeks leading up to this. But you have to say this. We all knew it was coming, guys, so you have to prepare. You have to be ready for this. Depth is essential in fantasy football. You never take a week off. You're always building your roster, and you're looking at the schedule, guys. You might want to trade a player that's a better player that's on bye in Week 14 for a lesser player that is going to have a matchup that week because you're in a do or die. I did just that. My league didn't like the trade. They called it collusion of all things. But to see that the player I dealt away was off last week and I had a huge advantage. So, D-Mac, I sympathize, but we got to deal with the bye weeks.
Well, I was lucky, right? And I have the Spite team, right, which I drafted all Arizona guys, and I let the auto draft my team. So I wanted to show to work back. Now I've been lucky, but I sort of, to your point about the schedule, I picked up Jared Goff about 4 weeks ago because I had Kyler Murray, and I was fortunate enough to make the right decisions. The biggest thing this week was I didn't have Alvin Kamara, who is one of my running backs. Thank goodness James Conner was able to play. But is this, so to your point, you don't see this moving forward. This is more on the onus of the owners of the fantasy teams to get with the new game. And this is the new game of fantasy, I guess to say. More the norm.
We have to give the NFL credit for not scheduling bye weeks on Thanksgiving week. That would have really hurt the experience with 3 games on Thursday. Then you have more teams off on Sunday. That would not have been a very strong weekend. So they gave us a break with no teams on bye for Thanksgiving. But even it up, right? Why do we have to have 2 teams on bye one week and 6 or more on another? And I think we should condense it a little bit more. But the NFL doesn't care about fantasy football, guys. So, it's on us to kind of prepare and work around it. You got to be tough out there to get through it. And I hope everybody's in the fantasy football playoffs, had a successful year. It's win or go home now.
Talking with our guy Matt Deutsch here, recapping fantasy football a little bit. We'll get into Lions-Jets in just a couple of minutes. Matt, what about the quarterback situation? And look, I've always been a guy throughout my fantasy football drafts where I always get the last of the good quarterbacks. I end up with like Lamar Jackson a lot throughout the years and stuff like that, where I let the Mahomes and all those guys kind of go off the board, and then when I see that there's only one or two more good ones out there, and then to parlay that with the backup spot, I don't take one in a draft at all, because there always seems to be 3 or 4 quarterbacks that pop off that nobody expected, and then I'll slide in and gobble one of those guys up in like week 3 or 4. But when you look at it, Matt, the quarterback attrition this year, parlayed with the quarterbacks that came with a high price tag that stink, like Russell Wilson, number one example of that. Do you think that the injury and the attrition at the quarterback spot, you think that's going to change how quarterbacks are valued and drafted in fantasy drafts going forward?
I think it absolutely will, Neil. We actually have a draft tonight for 2023 on Better Sports Network at 7 Eastern. We'll be the first ones to do a draft, and you can hear that on our free network, Better Sports Network. I think, first of all, the six-pack of quarterbacks from Josh Allen to Mahomes and Herbert, Fields, Burrow, and Hurts, those guys are going earlier than ever next year. I think it's not going to be crazy to take a quarterback in the first round, second round. I was on your show in August. I told you I was taking Josh Allen in the second round in every draft. That proved to be wrong because I could have gotten Hurts later, but Allen has come through. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that are on the miss chart that people are going to just be fed up with. So I think you're going to see quarterbacks actually get drafted higher than ever. With the problems we've had with running backs, Kamara, Darren, sorry, he's just terrible. It was better that he was out of the lineup for you. He's just been so bad, and Taylor hasn't come through, and the receivers are so good. I think it's a completely new mix next year, but I wouldn't be surprised to see quarterbacks going very high. Justin Fields is probably going to be the number one quarterback taken off the board. We'll have to kind of readjust our thinking around that, but it's those sort of middle guys. Goff, Trevor Lawrence, these guys could be league winners. Lamar Jackson, where are they going to go next year? So I think to answer the question, it's going to change the way we draft. I think you're going to want to have a backup now to be able to secure a better quarterback performance early on if you don't get one of those six-pack.
Now, we all know that the fantasy teams, it's very important what you do during the week to check the waiver wire and everything. This year, there's 40 players out because of ACL injuries, just ACL injuries alone. Has it been even more important to keep abreast of what's going on around the league, because more chances are you're going to have some injuries on your team? Has this been a weird year for that? As far
it's been crazy. Of course, we've been dealing with COVID the last 2 years, right? In this unpredictable environment where we got used to Sunday morning, all of a sudden your player's out. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals didn't do well for us, Terry, because what they did with T. Higgins the last couple weeks, we had no idea T. Higgins was hurt. There's no injury report. I don't know how the betting industry allows that to happen, because that really hurt a lot of people not knowing about T. Higgins. You have to be prepared for everything in fantasy football. The injury reports are important, and during the week, certainly on Better Sports Network, we're giving out advice. We're talking to callers. We haven't practice reports of who's healthy. The problem is, guys, the players don't practice anymore. I mean, you can't even go by a practice report to see what's going to happen on Sundays. Friday is your key day that you got to see if people are doing anything. But information is key. It is out there, Terry. But more than ever, I find that you just don't know a lot, despite having the most connected people out there. These NFL coaches are really throwing a lot of curveballs at us. And, it's part of what makes fantasy football fun is to be able to complain and to be able to say that you got screwed based on what that coach did or what that ref did. But during the week, preparation is essential, of course, Terry, to be able to get on there, even on a Saturday or a Sunday, and get that key player. I mean, the Cleveland Browns defense and special teams, when they went to Houston 2 weeks ago, I picked them up in 3 leagues on Sunday morning, and they won all 3 leagues of those. They were the 30-point spot at Houston. So you have to just be on it all the time if you want to bring home the title.
Right. Before the season began, we were told that the most productive Lion fantasy player was going to be DeAndre Swift. Who is actually the most productive Detroit Lion fantasy player?
Well, I'm so glad to be back with you guys. I was talking Lions all summer. You remember I was
Yes.
here from New Jersey, and on Better Sports Network saying Lions win the North, and I was right about the Packers. Vikings have lucked into this, guys. They are not that good. And if in another world, the Lions would be in first place. What a showing by your team and the Lions fans up there. So happy for you guys. Got such great fans. And for fantasy, outside of those 2 weeks, where your team did nothing on offense. Guys, it's been terrific to have these fantasy football Lions. I think you're right about Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year. Let's give Aaron Glenn a lot of credit, defensive coordinator guy. He's done a lot. I mentioned Malcolm Rodriguez when I was on with you guys in August.
Hell yeah.
Linebacker. He's helped. But for Coach of the Year, I mean, whatever happened in those 2 weeks when their offense fell apart, I mean, Dan Campbell deserves a lot of credit. I think Jamison Williams is probably the best line to have going forward. I think he's going to be a splash guy and is going to make a play or two and more every week. But Goff, I think, is the most consistent and the best fantasy football Lion from the season. I mean, amazing with Swift and Jamal Williams. A little bit of unpredictability there for us to manage. How do you see that backfield going forward? I mean, we're just playing Jamal Williams and Swift if you have them.
That's pretty much been the operations as of late, because Jamal Williams is like a guaranteed tutty every single week. So you have that in your back pocket at least. It'll be interesting to see, though, going forward. He's a free agent after this year. So it'll be interesting to see where the Lions go. Real quickly, we're talking to Matt Deutsch here, founder of the Better Sports Network, longtime New York radio veteran as well, was at WFAN for a very, very long time, Sirius XM. Got to get your take on Lions-Jets before we let you get out of here. The Lions fans here, we pretty much all think it's a foregone conclusion. The Lions are going to win. Matt, this team was 1-6. They were dead in the water. Life moves pretty fast, doesn't it?
Well, what an incredible season for the Jets, too. I mean, to what they've gone through with their quarterbacks, now with Mike White, who could do no wrong. After their quarterback, Zach Wilson, sat up there at a press conference and didn't protect his team, didn't take leadership role for his poor performance. The team turned on him, and kind of the coach, Robert Saleh, was going to lose the team, so he made a strong move to Mike White. And, wow, unbelievable what's going on in this storyline. Dare I say this is a Super Bowl preview, Jets and Lions.
Easy, guy.
Amazing to get both these teams into the playoffs.
Reckless. I love it. You're reckless, Matt. You know we're reckless here on Big D Energy.
I don't think any playoff team's going to want to see your Lions. I don't think any playoff team's going to want to see the Jets. I think your team's going to keep getting better. Jamison Williams is a really good player. He's going to add a lot. So to break this game down and the storylines involved, right now we have a -1, and the total, I think, is 44. But for who's going to win this game, just a fascinating matchup. This Jet defense is very, very good. The Lions offense is very good. Going to be fascinating to see how the offensive line performs. And I give your offense a big edge here with Detroit because of the offensive line. We've seen the Jet defense shut down almost everybody, and I don't expect the Lions to score 40. But I think your offense is going to be able to move the ball against the Jets. So now it comes down to Mike White and that Jets offense versus your Lions defense. And that is where the game is going to be won. Can you guys get pressure on the quarterback? Can anybody stop Garrett Wilson? This guy, what a rookie he has turned into be. And the Jet offense is explosive. You've got great storylines here. I've been on the Lions all year, so despite me being in the Northeast, I'm going Lions with this pick. I think it'll be a victory for the guys in blue, and the storyline for Dan Campbell continues.
All right. Well, Matt, I appreciate your time as always. We're going to get back with you and circle back maybe during the playoffs to find out how the first fantasy football draft for next year went, so we can get everybody, get everybody on the record, man. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, thanks. Hope everybody joins our community on Better Sports Network. Download our free app in the Apple app and Google Play stores. We're like you guys. We like to have entertainment and fun when we're talking sports. It's all about fun, fantasy sports, betting, and collectibles. Find us on social media at Better Network, Better with an O. Thanks, guys. Love being with you.
Thanks,
all right. Matt Deutsch, everybody, founder of the Better Sports Network, longtime veteran, Sirius XM radio as well. How about that, man? The New York people.
Taking the Lions.
They're all over the Lions.
You love it.
Just saw, as a matter of fact, update about the New York Jets. I saw Robert Saleh addressing the media that Zach Wilson has been elevated to QB2 in the depth chart. Mike White will not practice today. Mike White will not practice today.
If Zach Wilson plays, the Lions win by 20.
Lions by 1,000,000.
Yeah. Lions, I'm more scared of Joe Flacco than I am Zach Wilson.
If Zach Wilson...
Stacey's mom.
If Zach Wilson starts that game and Rodrigo walks into New York City with the cowboy hat on, it is over. OVA. It is absolutely finished. A lot of money ball going on there.
A lot of money ball going on there, but the only place where you can actually have money ball is obviously Moneyball Sportswear, because Moneyball Sportswear is your one-stop shop Whether you want the latest look in athletic apparel or you need new uniforms for your team, Moneyball has it all. Remember, it's on 12 in between 13 Mile on Southfield Road. Stop in Moneyball's showroom in Southfield and experience the only way to ball, or visit them online at moneyballsportswear.com. It's Moneyball, the only way to ball.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
Jeff Akuta and Wicked Awesome Wishes present Hope for the Holidays. Jeff Akuta gives his financial support, time, and love for the city of Detroit with Chad Johnson and his amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. Together, Jeff and Chad have been game planning all year long to make this Christmas one to remember for underprivileged children and their families. Special thanks to Lions players Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and more, along with Lions alumni Lomas Brown and Joyak Bell, and the awesome people at Lighthouse Coolidge Community Building in Oak Park. Together, we'll make sure every child has new shoes, warm coats, hats, and socks, plus free haircuts to help everyone feel their best. And don't forget Woodward Sports' Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, and Darren McCarty will be there too. Hope for the holidays from Jeff Akuta and Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness, the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports, and also home of the Judgment-Free Zone, where you can work out for just $10 a month. The black card option always out there as well. That's how I like to operate at Planet Fitness. I basically own the place, and I own over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world. There's always one close by. Pull in the parking lot if you want to join of the one you choose, or if you're really motivated, go on that computer. Go to planetfitness.com. DMAC, I prepaid 10K Friday, was feeling good today, so I prepaid it, did the 10K today, 58 minutes on the treadmill, because it's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Way to go, Neal. Yeah, we got it in there, man. Just tried to mentally zone out and project myself somewhere else.
That's what you have to do.
It's not even physical, man.
No, it's not always mental. 90% of it is
half mental, no doubt. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. It's hockey time. D-Max, 5-4 fighting. Let's run it.
Fully mental. That's the whole thing. We're going to start out number one. Last night, something was done for only the third time in the history of the NHL. And that was 800 goals scored by one human being. That being the grade 8 Alexander Ovechkin in Washington, behind only Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky at 894 leads. Gordie Howe is 802, I believe. Is that right?
801.
801. So Ovechkin probably will pass him next game or this week. But my question is what you think about Ovi's 800, and quick question B, does he pass Gretzky?
He's going to have to stay healthy because he's still, was he 90 away?
Yeah.
He's 92.
95.
Okay.
So he's 3 30-goal seasons away still. You know what I'm saying?
A 40 and a 45.
But
he's 2 years away.
Two Ovechkin seasons.
How many is he going to get the rest of the season, right?
He's got 7 in the last 4 games.
Still half the games. He's still got 25 goals left in this season, which means 50. So he's probably two and a half this season and then 2 more.
Yes.
The moral of the story is this. I like seeing this happen, especially in the social media era, especially for people like Sam Flannel who are so stat dependent. Because I think if he didn't end up at 800 goals or passing Gordie Howe, it wouldn't have that pop factor. It would be a guy that scored a lot of goals. And Alex Ovechkin, sit down, guys. Alex Ovechkin is one of the best players to ever play in the National Hockey League.
Absolutely, and I see a lot of guys go, well, you look at Gordie, he's got 4 cups, and Gretzky's got 4 cups, and Ovechkin
doesn't matter. He got one.
He's got his. Yeah. He's got his one that he needed.
Yeah.
But he's solidified as arguably one of the greatest scorers, and
if not
physical players.
If
That's
not the greatest.
I see somebody as he just scores goals. No, he doesn't. He absolutely still runs guys over.
He demolishes people. I think Alex Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer in the history of hockey.
I'm with you on that. You know, and that's where, like, if you go around the room, I wonder about. And T-Foss, look, man, Alex Ovechkin is one of the GOATs, one of the greatest hockey players of all time, and I don't know that he's viewed that way. Is he?
No, he's not. He's always, in my mind, been put behind Sidney Crosby.
And he's passed him.
He's passed him
as an individual player.
Mollywopped him, but the perception is Sidney Crosby, and then there's Ovechkin.
Well, Crosby's got the cups.
Blah, blah,
Crosby's
blah.
the leader. That's the
true.
player.
And that's
he's
fine.
Annoying.
And look, I contend that was one of the greatest. Like Crosby mid-career, that run where he won the Stanley Cup and then won the gold medal in the Olympics. I mean, he was the best player on the planet at that time.
Oh, he was ahead. It's the Geno Smith, Jared Goff conversation opposite. From greatness to, you know what I'm saying? But they were, and there was a time when Crosby was better, but Ovechkin, 800 goals.
The test of time, too, man. And then the gray hair makes him look older, so it's even more impressive.
And he's still in great shape. I ran into him before the game, and he's out there playing soccer, and he still loves it. That's the thing. His passion for scoring goals and love. And one guy that scored his 800th last night, but acted like it was his first, was him. Let's move on. Question number 2. I don't know if you saw this, though, and you're aware that the Arizona Coyotes are playing at Arizona State in a 5,000 stadium seating for a professional game, which is ridiculous in itself. But did you see the other night there was a Donnybrook, a brawl in the stands of a hockey game. Now that might be one thing you might be saying, well, DMAC, that's happened, I guess, 2022. No, guys, a fan had a finger. I cannot say if it was the pinky, the ring, or whatever one it was, the pointer. A fan got his finger bit off in the fight, 2022 in Arizona. My question is, WTF? And is it because you can't have that many people, or was this just a one-off because of college campus? Like, what do you make of this? This is 2022. It shocked me, and that's commitment to get rid of the digit. You got to bite hard.
And look, there's 2 angles here, right? Let me take number 1 first. The fact that the Arizona Coyotes are playing in a college arena that seats 5,000 for Arizona State, who has a club hockey team, more or less. Like, come on. Why are they even bothering? Can we just move them to Quebec? That's number 1. Number 2, who bites a finger off?
Hey.
Like, come on, man. That is weak.
You can't put this many NHL fans in a tiny little arena. There's just not enough room. A finger had to be sacrificed. He's lucky another digit wasn't lost.
Don't throw your fingers in people's mouths.
And that's the overriding thing.
You ended up somehow with your finger in someone else's mouth. You better expect it to get bitten off.
But Spence, that's like pulling hair.
Been in a few fights in the stands in his life.
Now, Spence, a gentleman such as yourself, it's probably been in a lot of those establishments.
I've been in a couple.
I understand and respect that.
Yeah.
However, that's like pulling hair.
I'm not biting a finger or pulling hair. I'm just punching you in the mouth. But
that's kind of weak. But number 2, can we just move the Coyotes to Quebec already? and move on with our lives.
Unbelievable.
Third minute.
I never thought that. I thought I'd hear about that. Like, that's something in the 70s when you got the Boston Bruins going to the stands hitting guys with skates. To the Red Wings. Bottom line, this point in the season, are you worried? Are you worried with 3 in a row at home losses, 6 out of 8, injuries? You're not a healthy roster. Is this the time where the injury, the Larkin thing is kind of a tipping point for me? I'm not going to lie to you about that. My main fear, though, in all of this, and this is my Nedeljkovic thing, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes. My main fear in all of this, Terry, is the waters you're swimming in. Did you see Carolina last night come in here and they took the Wings to the mat and choked them out? They put them in a guillotine. Can you go on the road in your division and win 1-0? Carolina took them to the mat and choked them out. There was nothing they could do. These are the waters you're in, Terry, with the Panthers, with the Lightning. Look at the games the last 2 weeks, who they played. It's a meat grinder, Terry.
Right, but am I worried? No. Do I expect more games like I saw last night? Yes. I just don't think the Wings are prepared to make a run during the playoffs. And the bottom line is because of their youth, and I know they have some veterans trickled on there, but this team, if you really focus on them, you can choke them out just like Carolina did last night. It was a boring game. Carolina was fine with that. All they wanted to do was walk out of there with a 1-0, 2-0 win or whatever it was, and that's exactly what they got. But I just think the Wings are in the position that the better teams in big moments will be able to choke them out like they got choked out last night.
That was a beating, Dean. That was a 1-0 beating.
That was you saw what the league is all about when you're getting, and why wouldn't it? You're around 30 games, it's crunch time.
Real quick, Terry, it was, let me guess, the score was 1-0 in the game last night? Oh, it was.
If you just, like Flannel does, he only goes by stats. If you just looked at stats, you would say, damn, that was a hell of a game. That was a close game, 1-0. But no, if you watch the game, you saw one.
Let me guess. It was 1-0. How boring.
Here's the whole thing.
But you know what? It was because John Keating, during one of the breaks, he says, here, we're going to show the highlights of the game. And then he just looked around for 2 seconds. That's it. I thought that was pretty funny.
I love it. So number 4, Mike G says it in the chat thread. I really don't know what we have with all these injuries. So question number 4 is, who has to step up? Who are the guys to step up with the guys out? Who are you looking to?
Yeah, and look, D-Mac, like that's cliche, and people are going to say, well, Larkin's out.
But are you looking to somebody, because if you don't know and you're worried, and like Terry says, to choke out, or you don't expect any of the young guys to step up? Or
no, because when you start getting this deep into it, that's not a fair ask. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're asking guys at this point. So if Larkin's out for an extended time, that's a point a game guy. That's what I was looking for, right? Give me some point a game guys, and I'm never out of a game.
Or 2 guys to fill in for his point a game. That's the whole thing when you're asked. When you're asked to replace or step in, you look at it like we lost Dino Ciccarelli, right? 40, 50 goal guy, 600 careers. So Scotty Bowman said to Marty the Point and I is that I don't need you, each one of you to fill his void, but I need you to chip in to get what Dino had. So in that aspect, is there guys that aren't producing right now that you expect to get more of an opportunity? With guys going down and
not that I expect to produce at point of game levels or anything. Like we're running thin now.
So, okay, so okay. Well, you know, the way you stay in this, the expectations is them to ride Husso, and he stays hot because obviously last night 1-0 game. What can you expect? But it's the guys that you've signed. Right? This is when you see what we're talking about through the whole year. Yes, our veterans, right? Yeah, we got good veterans, but did we really get good veterans? Because they should be able to stay healthy and lead us. Now, we lost Mata also, which hurts on defense, so you have younger guys stepping up. Terry's point is more so poignant, too, is that what you're seeing now is the deficiencies of the hockey club, and it's sort of the youth that has to learn this. So the fact that you can't tell me who's going to be.
Yeah, I'm out at this point.
No, but that means he's not there.
Right.
So when you have the guys to plug in place, right? You expect it. You got Fabry coming back, right? You got Verona coming back, but these guys are unavailable, and these are the guys that you'd expect.
Hey, D-Mac, let's do this. Let's come back and do the fifth minute because it deserves its time.
The fifth one's important.
Okay, let's do it that way. Tell them about Alta. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere for the fifth minute, by the way.
The fifth one, we might get some yelling. Anyways, at Alta, there's never yelling there because you know what? At Alta, uptime matters, and Alta Equipment has everything that you need to get the job done right. You got a bog project coming up. Alta Rent, you know they got you covered, so give them a call today. 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
All I want for Christmas is a Lions win, the Pistons in the playoffs, and the Red Wings to dominate. I don't ask for much.
I'm asking for a punt! A single punt!
And I've been really good this year.
Oh, you're so naughty. You're so naughty.
Woodward Sports. Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes present Hope for the Holidays. Jeff Okuda gives his financial support, time, and love for the city of Detroit with Chad Johnson and his amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. Together, Jeff and Chad have been game planning all year long to make this Christmas one to remember for underprivileged children and their families. Special thanks to Lions players Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and more, along with Lions alumni Lomas Brown and Joyak Bell, and the awesome people at Lighthouse Coolidge Community Building in Oak Park. Together, we'll make sure every child has new shoes, warm coats, hats, and socks, plus free haircuts to help everyone feel their best. And don't forget Woodward Sports, Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, and Darren McCarty will be there too. Hope for the holidays from Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. We are collecting new unwrapped toys and stuffing our studio so we can hardly fit in it. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio located off 15 Mile and Woodward in Birmingham. We will be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all Woodward elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. It's got its own segment. D-Max 5 for fighting. The 5th minute. I'm heated about this, guys, so...
But I'm going to lead it off.
Yes.
Happy 53rd birthday to your guy, Sergei Fedorov. Let's put his jersey...
Don't do that. Don't try to soften me up here before we go to battle by letting me know that it's Sergei's birthday.
I'm going to start with Terry. Okay, because we're going to talk, and let's get to the nitty-gritty of it.
Maybe Neal can cool down.
Happy birthday, Sergey, by the way. Goated.
And retire his jersey. What is your true frustration? And is your true frustration with the team? Is it with the player? Is it with the coaches? Is it with the system? For me, my true frustration is that what I've seen is that this team goes positively how their power play goes. And that is immaturity. To me, because if the power play is not working, they seem to be frustrated and it bleeds out to the other parts of the game. So, to me, it's all part of the maturity that we're talking about, the fact that Neal can't say, I look to this guy to step up for the point of game. Because it's the frustration and it shows you what they're still building towards. It had to be that. So, to me, the most frustrating part is to solidify those special teams. I'm not as upset with the solidification of the penalty killing, but the power play has to be better. And if it's not going, then they can't let it ruin them and lose games because of it. What is your true frustration with this team, Terry?
I will agree with that because last night I thought the Wings were better on 5-on-5 than they were 5-on-4, which should never happen. But I don't know if it's a frustration yet, but the thing that annoys me a little bit is that I think Derek Lalonde he's a great coach. He needs to figure out lineup changes or something to get this team out of the doldrums when they lapse. I expect that he will do that, but that's probably a minor frustration of mine.
Yeah, and I think that you can also agree too is that as they have injuries to some of their top guys, no matter what, it's a tougher thing to do. So you see him trying to figure it out, because that's the one thing earlier in the season that we've talked about, Neal, is that when it seems to go bad, they've been able to right the ship.
They've been able to rescue it.
Right? So the true thing is, breaking it down, is that your frustration, and it comes out because to your Nedeljkovic. Now, to your whole point in breaking it down, what you say about Ned is that we're not in a position, because when you put him in the goal, it's like taking away from the rebuild.
It's punting on a game. You don't get that game back.
And you're saying it's as bad as punting on first down right now.
It's exactly what it is, because you cannot win when he's out there. It's proven.
But okay, so and we've
is that fair?
Right, that is fair.
Okay.
Now it's also fair to say that you don't want him punted off the planet.
No, I don't know where everybody got that.
Practice, go down, go whatever, go figure yourself out. You're under contract. You figured it out. What would be done? # wiser plan. I trust you, Stevie, in this. But deep and down to our conversation, tell them where your true frustration is.
The frustration is this: why is it okay? Why are people, I believe, I want to see them, get it done and stuff like that. See, for me, this is professional sports, and you're in the mix for a playoff situation. To try to contend for the playoff spot. If I had to bet one of the furnaces, would I bet on him making it? No, I probably would not. However, with that being said, this is the chair you have in the game right now, where you have an opportunity to do this. And every time you've ran him out there, you have zero chance to win, which shows itself even more last night, because you're going to play the Carolina Hurricanes. They're going to take you to the mat and choke you out. Why? They're a Stanley Cup contender. As are the Florida Panthers, as are the Tampa Bay Lightning. All these, let alone what Boston's doing, they're killing everybody. You see what I'm saying, though? It's twice as bad, because Husso played very well last night. Gave up one goal to Carolina. Played well enough to win, but didn't. And those are going to happen. I just want to know why it's okay. That's my problem with it. Like, why is it okay? No, I don't want him punted off the planet, or what people said on Twitter. Somebody on Twitter basically said, he didn't deserve what you said. 409 goals against average, 88% save percentage. What I'm saying is true. It's absolutely true. You cannot win with those numbers. You can't. My frustration is, why is it okay? I don't have a frustration with what's going on at LCA and Steve Yzerman's office and stuff like that. The Caps said, you guys know where I stand on that. I'm cool with it. As I said, third game of the year, I saw everything I needed to see from the Red Wings. Locked and loaded, the team's improved, the trajectory continues to go up. I want to know why, what Nedeljkovic has done out there when he's played. Why is it okay? Why does he get that much of a leash? Why?
But then that's what we said. But to your point, that he doesn't have a leash because he hasn't been put back out there. There's things being done for this. The biggest thing is because your expectations, Neal, are a year ahead of what most people are, right? To the fact that you think, right, that these guys are a playoff team, or you wouldn't have that expectation because you said this isn't the way Toronto.
No, but here's the thing, D-Mac. When you talk about the Panthers and the Bruins and the Lightning and stuff like that, and yes, I know they're not on that level yet.
They're playoff teams.
However, the mentality. You know this better than anybody in this city right now. The mentality that it takes, it's just as much mentality as it is what you do on the ice.
To the fans or to the team?
Everything.
Because the team is where that mentality has to happen.
Right.
The fans
100%.
don't need to. We're preparing them because, to Terry's point, even if they make the playoffs, they're going to get choked out. They're not there yet. So it's one of these things that hopefully blessing in disguise. It's a frustrating part.
Here's what I'm looking at from Rad Dad Scott. Neil, it's not okay, but there needs to be accountability held on for everyone, not just Ned. If Ned doesn't play well, you can't win. Period. It starts with him. Whoso plays well, that's my point. And why is that okay? Why is he like protected with the fan base?
To your argument, it's not okay, and they haven't put him back in there since you had your meltdown.
And that is fair.
But wait till they put him back in there for you to have your next meltdown.
Okay.
But it's just the frustration.
Be prepared
because of expectations.
Right.
But this is why
and it's frustrating.
This team right now is exactly what this team is and why they won't make the playoffs.
And it's frustrating because of the reality of where they are, where they picked themselves up off the mat a couple of times and gotten back into it.
Fair enough.
That's
we
why.
thought it was something different. But they're really doing to us what every other team, except for the Lions, they put it back. But
Absolutely.
What the Pistons and the Tigers did to us.
Happy birthday, Sergey. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you're struggling or you know someone who's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120 if you get thirsty. They got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Like to welcome in our guy, Luke Fedlam, to the show here on Big D Energy, the name, image, and likeness expert, a non-agent sports attorney and the managing partner and chair of the sports law practice at Porter Wright Law Firm as well. Wrote a book, too, Sports Law, a practical guide to protecting the interests of athletes. Luke, great to have you here again. And look, Luke, I just want to dive right into it because we got you here. You know, National Signing Day, early National Signing Day, coming up next week. Name, image, and likeness. That's changed some things, huh?
It has. First, thanks for having me back, guys. And yeah, National Signing Day, early National Signing Day with name, image, and likeness. Now we're going to see some really interesting things, in my opinion, kind of happen. Because now when guys sign, it started off that it wasn't a big deal, right? Then it became something where it's like, okay, well, we're going to have it filmed, and I'm going to surprise you which hat I'm going to put on. And now I think the next step is that we're going to see players that will have announcements of deals very shortly after they sign.
Absolutely, Luke. And look, as we've discussed this, and we've had you on a couple times here, everybody's a big fan of how you break things down. We were told this was going to be the end. All these athletes are going to be getting all this money now, and now it's just pro football and stuff like that. We were told this was the end of college sports as we knew it, yet the sun still comes up, in college football and basketball and college sports. Now, it blew up in Texas A&M face to some degree. Will the failure of Texas A&M maybe cool the name, image, and likeness market and the extravaganza and the madness that it's going on? Will the market correct?
I think the market absolutely will correct. The question that any donor has to ask themselves is, what's my return? So if I'm looking to invest in student athletes through name, image, and likeness solely to try to help recruit the best talent to my particular institution, at the end of the day, I got to see, what's my return? Are we winning games? And if we're not winning games, then the question is am I going to continue to do that or not? So I think we're going to continue to see over this next year to 2 years, donors who have given a lot of money or invested a lot of money in student athletes through name, image, and likeness. I think some of those big deals are going to pull back a little bit.
How about that? Talking to Luke Fedlam here, NIL expert and stuff. We've been, a year through this. Obviously, we're paying attention and seeing how the transfer portal is sort of popping up, where it's the double-edged sword of the NIL was supposed to be used for name, image, and likeness. Is it being used to entice guys now? My question that I asked Neal, are you hearing back from companies that have done deals with these athletes that are happy? That are like, hey, this has worked out. We're glad we've done this. We always hear on the other side, and where we ask and say, oh, well, Caleb Williams wins the Heisman. We know he's going out there. Bijan Robinson's, driving a luxury car. It's working out for these guys that have been there. Get what you want. But are they're really working on the company's aspect where they're saying, hey, we are getting this return and we like this?
We are hearing that, right? So some of the deals that we see out there, and you brought up Bijan, Bijan has Dijon mayonnaise or mustard-aise or whatever you call
Love
it.
it.
I don't know. Right? And so it's things like that, when they happen, that cause a lot of attention. The coldest, I forget his last name, but I obviously remember his first, that did a deal with the AV HVAC company. So there are certain instances where there's kind of a unique aspect that makes something go viral. But on top of that, when you look at some of these college student athletes, especially the elite student athletes that have a significant number of followers, their ability to promote brands online to their following has value. And that's why, companies and brands continue to come back to student athletes, because if that student athlete can help them to get to a particular type of market that they're trying to get to, then they're going to continue to do those deals.
Look, I was curious, has this NIL money trickled down to schools like Grand Valley or Ferris State or Northwood or Wayne State, or are they just out of the loop?
It depends on the student athlete. It's a great question, because a lot of people say, well, name, image, and likeness, it's just for the elite student athletes at the best schools. But when you look at it across the board, name, image, and likeness is an equal opportunity for student athletes, no matter their gender, no matter their sport, no matter their school, to be able to earn compensation like they haven't before. So if we were to look at St. Aquinas, right, which I think is up in Grand Rapids, it's an NAIA school, and they have Chloe Mitchell, who was a volleyball player, right, that grew her following on social media to like 3 million followers because of some TikTok she did. Had nothing to do with her volleyball skills, but because of that, she's been able to do a lot of deals in the NIL space. So it really depends on the student athlete engaging in name, image, and likeness to be able to have those opportunities for themselves.
Talking with our guy here, Luke Fedlam, the name, image, and likeness expert, a non-agent sports attorney, managing partner at Advance NIL, and a partner and chair at the sports law practice at Porter Wright Law Firm, and has a book out, which a lot of the people in the chat are impressed with, Luke, that you're pumping out books now and everything like that. Sports Law, a practical guide to protecting the interest of athletes. And Luke, look, here's what I hear as I listen to national shows around the country and stuff like that. And it kind of makes me laugh, but maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. You tell me. I hear the narrative, they need to put some kind of cap in place, or they need to limit the amount of money that these student athletes can get through a name, image, and likeness deal, or maybe all schools have the same amount to spend. Give me the non-lawyer, common man explanation as to why this can't happen. Because for me, again, non-law educated, if I saw this where the NCAA tried to implement something like this, again, with a limited law background, I say, well, that sounds really a lot like an antitrust kind of thing to me. And I don't know about that per se, but tell me, Luke, in common man terms, you can't cap this, right? For that crowd that's saying, well, everyone in the Big Ten should have the same amount of name, image, and likeness money. No, that's not what this is. Am I right with that, or am I dumb?
No, you're absolutely right. And so, number one, Neal, you're not an idiot. So let's
go.
Well, on this subject, Nick or Luke, he's not an idiot.
All right.
That's right. Because you're absolutely right. There cannot be a cap. There's no cap on the conference media deals. Big Ten signing $7.5 billion. There's no cap on coaches' salaries, and we're seeing those salaries at $100 million plus coming out. So there's not a cap. They can't put a cap in on what a student athlete can earn through name, image, and likeness. They would be inviting lawsuits because ultimately that would be restricting their free marketability that has now been granted them. So it's not going to happen.
It's never going backwards.
But you know what, Neal? It kills me. People want to cap the athlete, but we don't hear about capping a coach that's getting $12 million a year. We don't hear about capping a coach that's going to get a $90 million buyout. We don't hear about capping rights deals that go over $1 billion. But let's cap the student athletes.
Why is that, Luke? Like, seriously, why is that? Because they're the front-facing, like the consumer-facing thing?
I think it's a nostalgia thing. I think it's because a lot of people just feel like, this idea of college sports is all about amateurism, and they're playing for the love of the game. And don't get me wrong, they are playing for the love of the game. But the business that's now happened around college sports, especially over the last 40 years, has just absolutely skyrocketed. So people just, for whatever reason, just seem to feel like if this student athlete, has an opportunity to make all this money, we can't let them get too much. And I'll tell you one other reason why. I think when we think about this whole situation of caps or not caps and everything, is that when it comes to college sports, which in some respects is different than the pro level, at the college level, a lot of fans like the school, right? And they like some of the players that come through it, but they're fans of the school. So if that player goes on somewhere else, they're not necessarily following that player. They're sticking with their school. At the pro level, a lot of times you have people that'll follow the players and things like that. So that's a bit different. So I think in some respects there's more of an allegiance to the institution, and so therefore saying, oh, well, let's just cap the student athletes. Let's make it fair because I don't want my institution to take a backseat to somebody else.
Interesting breakdown of it. And real quickly, Luke, before we let you go here, and because we like it too. Don't make no mistake. Us as fans, we like it too. We secretly we like this, and it comes back to this in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dirty South Wolverine says, "As long as I get the NCAA football video game back, I don't care what it takes." So there you have it, Luke.
That's it. Everybody's excited for it.
Luke, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for carving out the time, Luke. As always. We'll be talking again soon. You know that.
Hey guys, love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you. Absolutely. Our guy Luke in the house. Love talking to that guy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? He gave us some great advice, charitable advice.
And you're going to give someone great advice right now.
I will, just like Jeff Okuda and Chad Johnson with wicked awesome wishes. Yes, they've got together this Christmas season to help the underprivileged children and families in the Detroit area. Yes, we are going to be at the Lighthouse next week. The event will include clothing, wicked awesome clothing, warm hats, socks, shirts, haircuts, meals, everything for the family. So if you know a child or a family in need, go to wickedawesomewishes.org, or you can donate there. There are going to be tons of Lions. Jeff Okuda, obviously, Tracy Walker, Malcolm Rodriguez, Will Harris, Sean Elliott, many more. A lot of your Woodward Sports personalities, guys in this room, Braylon Edwards, the Maz, you can ask him about his Lil Levis stuff, but we're all there for a great cause being put on by some great people. So like I said, go to wickedawesomewishes.org if you want more information. Lady Janes.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4600 4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
All I want for Christmas is a Lions win, the Pistons in the playoffs, and the Red Wings to dominate. I don't ask for much.
I'm asking for a punt! A single punt!
And I've been really good this year.
Oh, you're so naughty. You're so naughty.
Woodward Sports.
All right, time to talk about Phillips. No, not former acting president of the University of Iowa, Chester Arthur Phillips, but Michael Phillips, of course. Looking to buy or sell your home, whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That is 313-403-0011.
Sam,
let's say Chester Arthur DeColdis Phillips.
DeColdis, no, not DeColdis.
That was DeColdis.
He wasn't even the real president, huh? He was just the acting president.
The acting.
Hey, he was good enough to get Phillips Hall at the University of Iowa named after him. So
Sam,
he must have
I
done something
appreciate every Phillips you bring out, but I think Claiborne Hooper Phillips is still a goat.
It's still goated.
Yeah. That was.
It is still the goated
I
one.
knew I had a good one that day. I'll never be able to top it.
We need to remember the top 3 and take it to the streets in a poll in one of these shows.
For sure.
Who was your favorite Phillips?
It's probably Claiborne Hooper Phillips.
Claiborne Hooper Phillips
is number 1.
We got to come up with Dakota's Phillips.
There's got to be a Dakoldis Phillips.
Well, we'll make
somewhere.
one up if it's not.
Reaction to the Luke Fedlam interview. Mike G wants to know, does Chesty Malone have a name, image, and likeness deal with anyone? I'll go to you, Terry, on that one.
Just an image.
She's got an image like.
2 images.
Ja Wall says we're getting to a place where it's no longer student-athlete for Division I.
Good.
But A, it never has been.
Yeah.
Like, that's A. But B, it's across the board. I mean, you see, UCLA gymnasts with $3 and $4 and $5 million deals. If you're marketable, the money finds you.
And speaking of Chesty Malone, we have a picture of
that's right.
Sir Terrence Reginald Foster with a picture of Chesty Malone.
I've never seen that before.
Yep.
That is Chesty Malone.
This is when you were out. Yeah. We made it happen. That's Terry.
I like that. Look at Terry's Guinness holiday
Christmas sweater. Yeah,
that is fire.
That's pretty sick.
It is.
Look at how happy he is in the picture. He's happy to see Chesty.
You know what I did that day?
You can just imagine.
People that picture, and I said, "Have you ever seen a photo of my wife?" They said, "No." And they look at it, and then they're like, "Okay, this might really be this fool's wife." And they get all
can't say anything.
Been out of shape.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, John Parker. They were getting free rides to the school they wanted. Apparently, that's not enough. LOL. Well, coaches were getting $2 million a year. Now they're getting 12.
Yeah, I think that's the big deal. When the throwback to history is it's always been, well, you get a free education, you get free food and free room and board. Isn't that enough?
No.
And to your point,
and no, it's not.
And to your point, no, it's not enough. Especially now where the market's changed. We're in 2022. This isn't, a lot of the stuff we talk about, the old way things were done. This is a new way because of all the money that's being generated out there. And where's it coming from? So
especially when they're bringing in billions of dollars for that
and
school.
The game here's the thing: you have these, you have the internet, you have all that where everybody can find out. Before, universities are making this much money and it was hidden, and that's how they got all rich because you can't see their books, you can't see what's going on. Now it's so apparent. It's the transparency of the millennium generation.
Imagine being mad at these kids for, I don't know, being athletes and having a
How
name
about
and
this?
a brand.
Imagine somebody being mad at somebody for getting money because of their image.
Or how about generating it for your university too? You see, it's always about.
I won't even go to that. I'll just say it's my face.
Yeah,
I get
it's my
it. But then
image.
it's sort of saying that person representing is making. They want all the money because that's the whole thing. The old adage is, if I used to get it all, why aren't I getting it all now?
Yeah.
Even though the
But you know,
rules have
athletes
changed,
are not the
games have
only
changed.
ones doing this. I had a child who went to college. She figured out a way to make $30,000 over her 4 years in school. You know, it was expensive. She found a system. She found a way. There's a way to make that regular students can make money. You just have to figure out how.
Yeah, I made money. I was working 45 hours a week. While taking 14 credits a semester.
But as a student athlete, you can't do that.
No, as a student athlete, I could barely do that as a non-athlete student.
Right, and that's why when they say like free tuition or free, no, it's not free. It's dependent on you producing on the football field or the basketball court or whatever. It's not free.
Right.
It's results based. As to where when these coaches do not deliver the results, they get a $95 million check.
Yeah, they get bought out.
They get bought out. Yeah, exactly, for not doing their job, and then they get. That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, Neil, how about this? Why don't you, for 10 hours a week on this show, just put your finger up your nose and don't say anything? See how long those paychecks come in.
I will. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll get a nose cleaning company or something.
Yes.
Real quick before we get out of here, here's one for you, Spenny. Dirty South Wolverine. Michigan needs to start handing out those Escalades again. Well, you can just take the athletic director's wife's car and wrap it around a tree, and you're fine. Thanks, everybody, for watching Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network.
It was Tone again.
Tone. See you later.
Tone.